Look at the land along the rivers of Ethiopia, where you can hear the buzzing of insect wings. That land sends people down the Nile River in reed boats, fast messengers. Go to the people who are tall and smooth, who are feared far and wide. Go to that powerful nation that defeats other countries and whose land is divided by rivers. Go warn them. Like a flag on a hill, everyone on earth will see what happens. Like a trumpet call, everyone in the country will hear it. The Lord said, I will be in the place prepared for me. I will quietly watch these things happen. On a beautiful summer day at noon, people will be resting. It will be during the hot harvest time when there is no rain, but only early morning dew. Then something terrible will happen. Earlier in the year, the flowers bloomed and the new grapes formed buds and began to grow. But before the crop is harvested, the enemy will come and cut the plants. They will break the vines and throw them away. The vines will be left for the birds from the mountains and the wild animals to eat. The birds will feed on them throughout the summer, and that winter the wild animals will eat the vines. At that time, a special offering will be brought to the Lord All-Powerful from the people who are tall and smooth, from those who are feared far and wide, from that powerful nation that defeats other countries and whose land is divided by rivers. This offering will be brought to the Lord's place on Mount Zion. A message about Egypt. Look, the Lord is coming on a fast cloud. He will enter Egypt, and all the false gods of Egypt will shake with fear. Egypt's courage will melt away like hot wax. The Lord says, I will cause the Egyptians to fight against themselves. Men will fight their brothers. Neighbors will be against neighbors. Cities will be against cities. Kingdoms will be against kingdoms. The Egyptians will be afraid and confused. They will ask their false gods and wise men what they should do. They will ask their wizards and magicians, but I will ruin their plans. The Lord God All-Powerful says, I will give Egypt to a hard master. A powerful king will rule over the people. The water in the Nile River will dry up and disappear. All the rivers will smell very bad. The canals in Egypt will be dry, and the water will be gone. All the water plants will rot. All the plants along the river banks will die and blow away. Even the plants at the widest part of the river will dry up, blow away, and disappear. The fishermen, all those who catch fish from the Nile River, will become sad and they will cry. They depend on the Nile River for their food, but it will be dry. Those who make cloth from flax, who weave it into linen, will all be sad. Those who weave cloth will be broken, and those who work for money will be depressed. The leaders of the city of Zon are fools. Pharaoh's wise advisors give bad advice. They say they are wise. They say they are from the old family of the kings, but they are not as smart as they think. Egypt, where are your wise men? They should learn what the Lord All-Powerful has planned for Egypt. They should be the ones to tell you what will happen. The leaders of Zon have been fooled. The leaders of Noph have believed lies, so they lead Egypt the wrong way. The Lord confused them, so they wander around and lead Egypt the wrong way. Everything they do is wrong. They are like drunks, rolling in their vomit. There is nothing the leaders can do. They are the heads and the tails. They are the tops and the stalks of plants. At that time, the Egyptians will be like frightened women. They will be afraid of the Lord All-Powerful, because he will raise his arm to punish the people. The land of Judah brings fear to everyone in Egypt. Anyone in Egypt who hears the name Judah will be afraid. This will happen because the Lord All-Powerful has planned terrible things to happen to Egypt. At that time, there will be 5 cities in Egypt where people speak Hebrew. One of these cities will be named Destruction City. The people in these cities will promise to follow the Lord All-Powerful. At that time, there will be an altar for the Lord in the middle of Egypt. At the border of Egypt, there will be a monument to show honor to the Lord. This will be a sign to show that the Lord All-Powerful does amazing things. Anytime the people cry for help from the Lord, he will send help. He will send someone to save and defend the people, to rescue the people from those who hurt them. At that time, the Lord will make himself known to the Egyptians, and they really will know the Lord. They will serve him and give him many sacrifices. They will make promises to the Lord, and they will do what they promise. The Lord will punish the Egyptians, but then he will heal them, and they will come back to him. The Lord will listen to their prayers and heal them. At that time, there will be a highway from Egypt to Assyria. Then the Assyrians will go to Egypt, and the Egyptians will go to Assyria. Egypt will work with Assyria. Then Israel, Assyria, and Egypt will join together and control the land. This will be a blessing for the land. The Lord All-Powerful will bless these countries. He will say, Egypt, you are my people. Assyria, I made you. Israel, I own you. You are all blessed. Sargon was the king of Assyria. He sent his military commander to fight against Ashdod. The commander went there and captured the city. At that time, the Lord spoke through Isaiah, son of Amoz. He said, Go, take the sackcloth off your waist and the sandals off your feet. So Isaiah obeyed the Lord and went without clothes or sandals. Then the Lord said, My servant Isaiah has gone without clothes or sandals for 3 years. This is a sign for Egypt and Ethiopia. The king of Assyria will defeat Egypt and Ethiopia. Assyria will take prisoners and lead them away from their countries. The people, young and old, will be led away without clothes or sandals. They will be completely naked. Those who look to Ethiopia for help will be shattered. Those who were amazed by Egypt's glory will be ashamed. People living along the coast will say, We trusted those countries to help us. We ran to help them so that they would rescue us from the king of Assyria. But look at them. They have been captured. So how can we escape? This is a message about the desert by the sea. It is coming like a storm blowing through the Negev. It is coming in from the desert, from a frightening nation. I was given a vision of the hard times to come. I see traitors turning against you. I see people taking your wealth. Elam, go against them. Media, surround the city. I will put an end to all their moaning. I saw those terrible things, and now I am afraid. My fear makes my stomach hurt like the pain of giving birth. What I hear frightens me. What I see makes me shake with fear. I am worried and shaking with fear. My pleasant evening has become a nightmare. People are rushing around shouting their orders. Set the table. Post the guard. Get something to eat and drink. Officers, get up. Polish your shields. The Lord said to me, Go find someone to guard this city. He must report whatever he sees, whether he sees a chariot and a team of horses or men riding donkeys or camels. He must listen carefully. Then one day the watchman called out, My master, every day I have been in the watchtower watching. Every night I have been standing on duty. Look, I see a man in a chariot with a team of horses. The messenger said, Babylon has been defeated. It has fallen to the ground. All the statues of her false gods were thrown to the ground and broken to pieces. My people, you will be like the grain crushed on the threshing floor. I have told you everything I heard from the Lord All-Powerful, the God of Israel. This is a message about Duma. There is someone calling to me from Seir. Guard, how much of the night is left? How much longer will it be night? The guard answered, Morning is coming, but then night will come again. If you have something else to ask, then come back later and ask. This is a message about Arabia. A caravan from Dedan spent the night near some trees in the Arabian desert. They gave water to some thirsty travelers. The people of Tema gave them food. They were running from swords that were ready to kill. They were running from bows that were ready to shoot. They were running from a hard battle. The Lord told me this would happen. He said, In 1 year, the way a hired helper counts time, all Kedar's glory will be gone. Only a few of the archers, the great soldiers of Kedar, will be left alive. The Lord, the God of Israel, told me this. This is a message about the Valley of Vision. Jerusalem, what is wrong? Why has everyone gone up to hide in their upper rooms? This city was so happy, but now there is a terrible uproar. There are bodies lying everywhere, but they were not killed with swords. The people died, but not while fighting. All your officers ran away together, but they have all been captured without bows. All the leaders ran away together, but they were found and captured. So I say, Don't look at me. Let me cry. Don't rush to comfort me about the destruction of Jerusalem. The Lord God All-Powerful chose a special day for there to be riots and confusion. People trampled on each other in the Valley of Vision. The city walls were pulled down. People in the valley shouted up to those on the mountain. Horse soldiers from Elam took their bags of arrows and rode into battle. Soldiers from Kir rattled their shields. Your favorite valley was filled with chariots. Horse soldiers were stationed in front of the city gates. Then the cover protecting Judah was removed, and the people turned to the weapons they kept at the forest palace. Then you noticed how many cracks there were in the walls around the city of David, so you began collecting water from the lower pool. You counted the houses and used stones from them to repair the walls. Then you built a pool between the double walls for storing water from the old pool. You did all this to protect yourselves, but you did not trust the God who made all these things. You did not even notice the one who made all these things so long ago. So the Lord God All-Powerful told the people to cry and mourn for their dead friends. He told them to shave their heads and wear mourning clothes. But look, everyone was happy. The people rejoiced, saying, "Kill the cattle and sheep, and let's celebrate. Let's eat meat and drink wine. Eat and drink, for tomorrow we die." The Lord All-Powerful said this to me, and I heard it with my own ears. You are guilty of doing wrong, and I promise that you will die before this guilt is forgiven. The Lord God All-Powerful said these things. The Lord God All-Powerful told me to go to Shebna, the palace manager, and say this: "What are you doing here? None of your relatives are buried here, are they? Then what right do you have to prepare a tomb for yourself in this high place? Why are you cutting a tomb out of this rock? What a big man you are! But the Lord will crush you. He will roll you into a small ball and throw you far away into the open arms of another country, and there you will die. You are very proud of your chariots, but in that faraway land, your new ruler will have better chariots, and your chariots will not look important in his palace. I will force you out of your position here. Your new leader will take you away from your important job. At that time, I will call for my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah. I will take your robe and put it on him. I will give him your scepter. I will give him the important job you have, and he will be like a father to the people of Jerusalem and Judah's family. I will put the key to David's house around his neck. If he opens a door, no one will be able to close it. If he closes a door, no one will be able to open it. He will be like a favorite chair in his father's house. I will make him like a strong peg in a solid board. All the honored and important things of his father's house will hang on him. All the adults and little children will depend on him. They will be like little dishes and big water bottles hanging on him. The Lord All-Powerful said, "At that time, the peg that is now in the solid board will get weak and break. It will fall to the ground, and everything hanging on it will be destroyed. Then everything I said in this message will happen. It will happen because the Lord said it would." This is a message about Tyre. Ships traveling from Cyprus heard this message. "Cry, you ships from Tarshish. Your harbor has been destroyed. You people living near the sea, mourn in silence. The merchants of Sidon sent traders across the sea and filled the city with riches. They traveled the seas looking for grain. The men from Tyre bought grain that grows near the Nile River and sold it to other nations. Sidon, you should be very sad, because now the sea and the fort of the sea say, 'I have no children.' I have never felt the pain of birth. I have never given birth to children. I have never raised young men and women. When Egypt hears the news about Tyre, it will feel the pain of sorrow. You ships, try to escape to Tarshish. Cry out, you people living near the sea. Can this be that happy city that was founded so long ago? Is it that same city whose people traveled so far to settle other lands? This city produced so many leaders. Its merchants were like princes. Its traders had the whole world's respect. So who made these plans against Tyre? It was the Lord All-Powerful. He decided to destroy the great things they were so proud of. He wanted to disgrace those who were so highly respected. Ships from Tarshish, go back home. Cross the sea as if it were a river. No one will stop you now. The Lord raised his arm over the sea to make the kingdoms angry enough to fight against Tyre. He commanded Canaan to destroy her place of safety. He said, "Daughter Sidon, you have been hurt badly, so you will no longer rejoice like a bride. Go ahead, go to Cyprus for help, but you will not find a place to rest there either. As for Babylon, look at the land of the Chaldeans. It is not even a country now. Assyria built war towers to attack it. The soldiers took everything from the beautiful houses. Assyria destroyed Babylon. They turned it into a pile of ruins and made it a place of wild animals. So be sad, you ships from Tarshish. Your place of safety has been destroyed. People will forget about Tyre for 70 years. That is, about the length of a king's rule. After 70 years, Tyre will be like the prostitute in this song. Oh, woman whom men forgot, take your harp and walk through the city. Play your song well and sing it often. Maybe someone will remember you. After 70 years, the Lord will review Tyre's case, and he will give her a decision. Tyre will again have trade. She will be like a prostitute for all the nations on earth. But Tyre will not keep the money she earns. The profit from her trade will be saved for the Lord. Tyre will give that money to the people who serve the Lord to buy good food and nice clothes.